Hello, everybody, and welcome to League Unlock. Eric and Mark here with you guys. We are a few days away from quarterfinals kicking off at the World Championship. We got a couple more of those Elite 8 matchups to preview. We're looking at Damwon versus G2 today, which it's right up there with Griffin and IG as the most exciting series of the weekend for me.
This one is going to be an absolute barn burner for me. I got this one going the full distance for sure. You got to stay tuned to find out who I got coming out on top. But this one is going to be spicy, believe it or not. If you don't think that IG and Griffin is going to be spicy, turn it up a couple notches here. Damwon and G2 going to be going all out.
And this one is particularly interesting because I don't know who you pick as a favorite. Are you really saying if Damwon, the 1 seed, beats G2, the 2 seed, that's an upset? Because G2 was the overall favorites coming into this event, but I don't think either team winning here you could consider a big upset.
Nope, you got to throw that word out the window for this series here, given the power of these teams heading into this one. First with Damwon, what they've shown us through the group stage, that improvement that we have seen through them throughout the play-ins here, kind of bringing on some more of that polish here on the international stage, getting this #1 seed. And then when you're talking about G2, the dominance that we've seen from them all year, MSI champions, there's no way that you would see this as an upset here. This is two Titans going at it here in this quarterfinals.
And the big number there, the Herald percentage. Every single game, Damwon has gotten it. First in the league, G2, 16th. They don't care about it. They just want to win lane. They don't need Herald to do that. So we might just see some uncontested Herald takes from Damwon.
Right, that seems to be, at least statistically here, completely unmatching as far as ideologies for these teams and what they want to be putting out on the Rift. So yes, I think you could see a lot of uncontested Heralds here. But if you're on the Damwon side, you got to be careful, because I'm sure G2 is going to be prepared to punish you while your attention is turned elsewhere, while your resources are put towards that top side of the map. You better believe that G2 are going to be finding ways to get advantages, and some of those advantages might find their way to that bottom side to build an insurmountable lead for the man down there, Perks, alongside Mickey.
Now, nobody was in Clutch's group, so they haven't been trained about this Rift Herald that 10
The
minutes
NA strat.
immediately. But Damwon seems to have already mastered it. We saw G2 throughout the entire LEC, and at times, save for their 2 Griffin matchups, at Worlds, they just completely obliterate people through the laning phase. They're getting leads across the board, across the map, without even Jankos coming in a lot of these lanes, but that is not going to be the case against Damwon.
Right, it's not going to be the case against Damwon, and this is something that I don't really have any concerns for, but I think does bear a bit of mentioning here. Again, this was what they said the issue against Griffin in these 2 matches is maybe we took them a little bit too lightly given the performances that we had against them before coming into those ones, and I think that this is certainly a situation where you do have Damwon, where you might be, willing to look past them, given that you have already gone up against a team like Griffin here and saying, yeah, it's just the 3rd seed from Korea. That is not how you need to be treating this one. That's not how you can be at any single moment in this series. It is going to require your full attention.
Yeah, and you can't take them lightly based on how dominant they were throughout the majority of that group stage. And, IG is obviously IG. They slapped them 2 games in a row. They didn't slap them. They were very back and forth games, but they got the better of them. So, yeah, nobody's taking Damwon lightly, and I think, again, that wake-up call against Griffin is going to be only providing good things for G2. There's plenty of intriguing matchups to take a look at in this one, but I want to talk about the bot lane first, because Nuclear versus Perks. We know that Perks has coined this mages, awesome dudes in the bottom lane, and I fully expect and anticipate lots of those interesting picks to come up in this series, but Nuclear has played his fair share of those picks as well, and he's 6-0 on Yasuo in 2019.
I was going to say, this is the situation here that you would normally be thinking, yes, into this one. Of course, Damwon, that seems to be kind of that soft underbelly that you want to go and attack on here, and this is not going to be the case, I think, in this matchup, because of the advantages that you have in this specific way that this one will play out with Perks here, and how he's traditionally here on these non-ADCs, and then Nuclear, is someone that is proficient on those awesome dude carries. We have seen it many times before as someone very comfortable and very capable at being a carry and making it through the early to mid game and having that damage that Damwon need. We've seen it many times where they rely upon, obviously, Nagari and Showmaker to be the big carries, but when that doesn't happen, you know who's there with the damage? Nuclear almost every single time is there to back them up and be that consistent damage towards the late game. He will be a key part if Damwon is going to get by Perkz and G2.
Yeah, and I don't think it's as big a disadvantage for Damwon as people are making out. The difference between Nuclear in particular in the main stage from what we saw in the play-in stage was miles and miles better, and of course he's up against much better competition, so I don't think that's going to be as big a concern. Sure, Perkz and Mickey might be getting some decent CS leads, which they did against pretty much everyone in Group A, but team fighting, Nuclear has absolutely stepped up for Damwon, whether it's on the Kai'Sa or the Yasuo. And by the way, if you can't play Kai'Sa at this World Championship, don't even show up on the
You're never
Rift,
going to be able to at this point, given her strength. I think with Nuclear, the CS differential, that is something that you might be a little bit concerned of, given that the power that you have with the duo of Perkz and Mickey. But I think here, the key for Damwon, get Barrel that Alistar, get him on that big cow, get him that type of meat cushion there that you can bully around in lane here, soak up some of that damage so Nuclear can get that CS.
Definitely expecting a lot of bans to be thrown the way of Barrel to get him uncomfortable. The other matchup to look up for here is two underwhelming guys from the group stage. In the top lane, Nuggery and Wunder. Both guys, I mean, Wunder had some terrible TPs and some overall bad games, and Nuggery was one of the most hyped up players at the entire event. I don't think he lived up to that hype when it came to the group stage.
No, and I think this is a different situation here where I think Wunder actually underperformed given what you could reasonably expect from him and what we have seen, especially throughout this summer split and the type of form that we had been seeing in the top side, solidified for G2. But I think when you're talking about Nagari, the big thing here is that, yes, the expectations were so high, and I feel like he didn't quite reach them, but still at the same time, he provided us with enough instances and enough examples of that raw skill that you see from here to still be excited about this matchup into that top side where you have Wunder, who's known for holding against some of these top challenges here, yet still providing something for G2 in the end game, and Nagari, who is, again, one of these main engines that always is a driving force for Damwon.
Yeah, I've got a feeling we're seeing LCK Summer Nuggery in this series. He's been training, getting his beat down at the hands of the Shy in their matchup there. So he's been training for this Wunder.
Hey man, he got his reminder to rock that phase rush instead of that Klepto on the Vlad.
Absolutely did. And Wunder knows a thing or two about getting smacked around by the Shy. So I think Wunder's going to have to step up his game to hold his ground against Nuggery, because a lot of this is going to be the one-on-one isolations. You saw how low the kill participation was. Jankos didn't give Wunder that much action here in the group stage, but I'm excited for that matchup. This game is 50-50 this entire series. I think that G2, you want to feel like they should bounce back, but I had faith in Damwon being a dark horse to win this whole thing, so I got to stick true. I got to stick with Damwon.
I'm going with the G2 boys. They've come so far. They are the MSI champions. It does not end here. They find a way in the game 5, 3-2 for G2.
I would be shocked if this didn't go to game 5 and fully expect Perkz, if there is a 5th game, to pick some mage in the bottom lane. Syndra should be banned. The Zoe didn't work in the tiebreaker against Griffin. Who knows what else he wants to throw
He's
down.
been hanging out with Doublelift. Maybe it's the Sona.
Nobody wants to see Sona down. The Orianna bot, I don't know, maybe something crazier. But this series is going to be one of the most exciting ones on the weekend.